Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Building a Nation with Polonia Warszawa. Thought we'd start today on the page of S5-E5, a man who comes in for some criticism sometimes, from me and from you, and understandably so, but I feel like he still has a lot to offer this team. Now, for example, his finishing is 8, which might explain, and that with his composure of 7, why he often does have a habit of fluffing at opportunities. Fair to say. However, the problem with removing him from the team and putting in someone else is the simple fact is, he's so good at so many other things that he brings so many players into the game with his sheer dribbling ability, and that's the problem. And I don't really feel like we can safely drop him until we have someone that has reasonably good stats in the areas he excels at, as well as better finishing and stuff like that, basically. And he still gets goals, just not as many. He's got 5 assists in 4 games in the Europa League this year as well, which is very, very nice. He's a very key player, but I do feel like there's a bit of a ceiling, and it might be an area we'll tend to have a little look at some point. I see, just like the Stockport save, you're going to refuse to tell us where you got the face packs. Yeah, yes I am. I'm a bastard like that. It's my little secret. 2022 World Cup ruins the schedule. Yes, I completely forgot about that, and that might explain why the Europa League is bloody all over the place. But it doesn't really explain that much to me why they're playing games on weekends. And some of the games are still going on. It's very strange. That would explain, of course, why our league is finishing so early, because we're playing the final episode, or the final game of our league, right now on the 6th of November. So yeah, that might explain that, that's for sure. Surely we aren't going to get results in Europe right now with that system. Why not? I mean, it's a system, it works. You know, at the end of the day, I don't really understand this idea that you have to play a certain way in certain games. You can play however you like. You might not always win, but I don't know. I don't see the point in making a whole new tactic that's just really defensive and stuff for these types of games. I'd rather try and win the way we want to win and play the game we want to play and impose that on other teams. It's not going to work in the early stages, but I'd rather win well. Matt, how tall are you? You always call players under 6 foot small. Okay, so I'm not that tall. I'm only like 5'11". But the reason I say that is because most of the time I'm looking at players like centre-backs, and if my centre-back isn't at least 6'2", I'm pretty much not interested, because it's so important to have that added height, particularly with the style of play we use, and also good passing and stuff. But I just want tall centre-backs. Tall players for me just have that little bit extra. Obviously, if they are really, really, really fast, then I'll accept it. But what I want is, if I could have my entire team be like 6'5" with a crazy pace, I'd be all up for that. Like Usain Bolt's all over the pitch. What skin do you use? It looks so sleek. It is the TCS 1. Well, this is 1.6. I think 1.7 is actually out. I need to update that. You can get it on FM Scout. It's just great. There's so much customizability about it, and that's why I love it. Right then, we've had some games off camera, and it's been very, very strange, and I'm gonna get ranty, I warn ya. So we very nearly didn't manage to get a victory, but we then did, in fact, manage to get a victory. And another clean sheet. Back-to-back away wins with clean sheets, and I was in dreamland with that, because it really did say to me, this team has got the chance to actually compete for the title this year. Winning away at Lechia did all of that in my mind. It took us to the 87th minute, and the mother of all goalmouth scrambles. Just you wait, I'm going to show you. So, here we go. Ball whips into the box, headed at the bar, cleared at the goalkeeper, It's even worse than I remember. And eventually Viacek puts it in the back of the net. And that was the winning goal in this match. Wojciech, you absolute lad, coming up with the goods. We then added a second goal in stoppage time through Conrad Kaslik to kill it off in the end. A tough one, though. Still good performance on the night, though, and a clean sheet. Very important. Next up, it was against a very tough Gornik, who, of course, have Gael Clichy in the team. We drew 0-0 against them earlier this season, and we didn't concede again today, which was good. Thankfully, though, Slavomir early goal was all that separated the two sides. They were really still very, very tight. We dominated the game, but it was unlikely we were going to score again, really. The chances just weren't flowing for us. Despite not taking lots of long shots, we probably could have had more in this game, but luckily Khmil bailed us out. 3 straight victories, 3 straight clean sheets, and suddenly we were just flying, and I was in dreamland with these lads. Unfortunately, we were finally brought right back down to earth again in the next game against Wisla, away from home. Very, very disappointed in this one. Once again, we should have won this match. I can't believe it, but I want to show you Zaborowski's goal, because I thought this was a beaut. So eventually, the ball is put in the box, and it's headed away, and Zaborowski just comes in out of nowhere and sweeps one. Look at that. It's like a volleyed curling effort. What a strike from Zaborowski for 1-0. Unfortunately, though, they then got an equaliser in the 82nd minute with their only shot on target of the game. And I just thought, you know what? That sucks, because I had a horrible feeling it was going to really muck up the form, and wouldn't you know it, it did. As we then went and lost 2-0, our first defeat of the season, away at the bottom club, the second from bottom club. Totally even game. If anything, we probably edged it, and we lost 2-0. It's like the tiniest little flicker, the flap of a butterfly's wing is enough to ruin your season. It does genuinely seem like that. We'd gone, I think, yeah, 16 games unbeaten from the start of the season. You concede one late equaliser from their only shot on target, and then it's suddenly like the arse falls out. Next game, away at the second from bottom side, we lose 2-0 in a game that we should have at least got a point from. And then there was their second goal, which I'm going to show you now. Now, I'm pinning a lot of the blame on this, on Neugebauer, because look at this. The header's there, he saves it, and then bounces back up off his head and straight into the path of the player. This is what we're dealing with all of a sudden, and it doesn't get any better than that. Thankfully, though, we did get a little respite from that in the cup away at Vigri. Got the win with the rotated team. Aziz Coyote, as some people have been calling him, got the winner for us, and then Mateusz Gora added a second one 6 minutes later for a 2-0 win. We're through to the next round of the cup, which is fine, but then we went back to the league, and all hell broke loose again. And this is a prime example of what I mean. Dead even game. If anything, like, we had more possession, like, as you know, that generally kind of works for us. They had a couple more shots on target, one more clear-cut shot, but still 4-0. What on earth? Suddenly we've conceded 7 goals without reply as a result of conceding 1 goal from their first shot on target. What? It doesn't make any sense to me how we can go 16 games unbeaten, concede 1 late equaliser, and then not win the next 2 matches and concede 6 goals all of a sudden. It's crazy. So we're going to have to try and rejuvenate that. But it does show you just how important morale can be on FM, and how I believe it is too important. I think that obviously conceding a late winner or whatever, or something, is going to affect morale in some way, but it feels like it's way too powerful. And the same thing applies when you're on a bad run and you get like 1 point and then all of a sudden, hey, you're off. And it's a little bit too powerful for me, but there you go. Yeah, a 4-0 defeat at home against Swansk, and probably the worst defeat in this entire save, to be honest. And I was baffled by it, but hey, there you go. And that leaves us down in 4th in the league. Now, we do have a game in hand over Lech, and obviously we're still 4 points clear of 5th and whatnot, and we also have a game in hand on them. So we can really make this sort of like a splinter group of teams that are bombing away towards the top, which is fine. It's just frustrating as hell, particularly as it's the same personnel with the same tactic against the same teams that we were already... sometimes you can't account for it, but it is very frustrating when patterns emerge like that. Even if they are completely coincidental, it's just you're just clutching at straws. So hopefully we can come up with something today, but I really don't know if we will be able to against 13th placed Legia. Now, obviously, they do have games in hand against pretty much everyone around them, and if they were to win all of their games in hand, they could go up as high as 8th. So it's not the end of the world for them. Rakov down there too, though, without games in hand, and I don't care one little bit. There isn't a violin small enough for Rakov right now. So we have fallen down a little bit. It's fine. We'll recover, hopefully. Point is, we're still up there, which is the main thing. We're looking good for another European campaign next season, in theory. We do have a game in hand over Lech as well, which will put us within a point of them. So it certainly isn't the end of the world by any stretch. But when you go 16 games unbeaten to then have it just disappear like that and lose 2 in a row, it's very, very odd, I gotta say. But there you go. Just wanted to quickly show you Roko Vujovic. You could see he's actually joining us, I believe, in January or February or whatever. I saw him come through the scout report. He's a Bosnian player. He's played for Siroki Bidajeg, which is a weird name. Very cool, though. He's a deep line playmaker, sort of midfielder. Great passing, great vision, good tackling. I just thought he might give us a bit of extra passing ability in that slightly deeper role, and to have someone like that might not be such a bad idea. He's coming in for 475k, and I know that's a fair amount, but I just think this kid's got some big potential. My scouts certainly seem to reckon so, and I'm really trying to find players outside of Poland to bring in at the moment. Now, because I talked about how, we don't want to be signing players from Poland, but I didn't say there was going to be a specific cut-off point, because it's really hard to tell, because I don't have the other leagues loaded yet, but I have picked a load that will then start next season, but they won't be producing regens this season. So I've decided that this next transfer window that was coming up is going to be the last window that I'm allowed to go and sign players from other Polish clubs, because we still won't have those leagues turned on to produce the youth intakes that I want to look in at that point. However, I am still going to prefer to find players like this guy to boost up that, basically. That's what I'm trying to do anyway. So I'm still trying to prefer them, but at the moment I'm not going to be able to completely avoid Polish players because there's so many of them in the database at the moment. So that's the sort of thing on it. But I just wanted to show you Roko, because he's going to be joining us, and I think that 15 passing and 16 vision is very, very tasty indeed. And also not bad first touch and good tackling too, which is very, very nice. Marking is only 8 though, so ugh. Anyway, let's get into today's game. We might as well. We've got Legia. It's going to be tough. We know that. Legia are away at Wisła, who are having a struggling year this season. If we were to come up with a win in the derby today, that would it would just rejuvenate us so much going into that winter break. But I have a horrible feeling it's going to be more of the same, and we're going to need that winter break more than ever. So we've got no team news, which is very nice. They're missing a couple of players too, which is also very nice, particularly Spahiu. He always plays well against us. So, team lineup. Zmiel, or do I want Zuba or Kuharski? Apparently it's Kuharski. Apologies, I got that one wrong, as always. Hoka is out injured still. He keeps getting little niggling injuries. I'm not really sure whether to go for Zuba or Kuharski. I feel like I'm going to keep Zuba in there for now. Vyarchik, of course. Zaborowski, of course. Zabas has actually been pretty good this year, I've got to say. Zav's Zavchikrai has been a bit under the radar poor this season, I've got to say. Even when you look at like Yanovsky, though obviously different games played against them, but like Todorov hasn't been that much worse than him, so it's definitely something to keep an eye on there. Gorka, love him still. Siratsky, Coyote and Meisterek. Do I want to bring back in Konefal? Ooh, Coyote's actually been playing better. Then again, Meisterek's been really poor, so maybe even bring in Konefal instead of him. Just give him a little rest, and I might also get Denza in instead of Kokoschka, just to try and rotate these guys around a bit, give them a chance to find some form again. It's a bit unfair in some respects because nobody's in form at the moment. Not one player is really in form at the moment. You might also notice a guy here, Piotr Michalski. I brought him in on a free transfer. He was completely free. You know, he's not on huge money. Just an option, basically, just to boost the squad a little bit more. So, hey, he's joined us. So the bench is going to be Todorov, Kaslik, Turci, Michalski, Kokoschka, Meisterek, and, of course, Kuharski. Okay, that's fine. Legia playing their pretty much standard system as we knew they would. And we just need to turn this around, basically. And I honestly cannot think of a better way to do that than trying to come up with something against our biggest rival in the world. There's flares going, there's smoke grenades, there's everything. Let us go. Let us come up with something magical. Also, someone asked me why, even though I know this doesn't work in the first 10 minutes, I always do it. The main reason I do it is so that I remember to do it the second time. That's the only reason, because when I know that it goes from grey, I know that I can do it properly and it will work. That's the only reason I do it, and force of habit and all that. Long ball down the field, should be won by Denza. He has, and Zuba's picked up immediately. Lovely first touch. He's going to drive straight at them. Not quite, though. Good opportunity to start off. Makes me wonder if we maybe could go more expressive in this game. We've already had 5 shots, which is actually quite a lot. Zaborowski, go on, look it back out wide again. Oh, Siratsky with the long ranger this time. Okay, this is good. The pressure's really on them at the moment. Coyote, Zuba. Oh, wow. Good start. And just open it up a bit. I don't want to go on attacking or anything just yet, but I feel like too many shots off target. Not too many long shots, but there's a lot of possession too. It might actually be the type of game where we could get away with a more attacking approach. Maybe for the second half. Come on. Particularly if we were to get in front. I don't want to be risking it. Konefal. Fit away. And Gorka. Fiarchek. Oh, go on, Zubs. That's a bit too... Oh, whew. Zuba is getting some shots away today. We've been good. Well, there's a lot to like about the performance, just not enough shots on target. Possession is all ours in this match. We're not allowing Legia anything, which is brilliant, but we just need to get one goal. This feels like a 1-0 would just do so much for our morale. Like, we've got this game right where we want it, dominating the possession, dominating the chances. They've had nothing. We just need to find one goal and then hopefully be good at the defensive side of things for once. Now, the one thing we didn't need was Darius Zuba getting injured, because he is literally the only one of the front 4 that's really doing anything at the moment. Zavchikrai, the form we're in, it just isn't conducive to us breaking down teams at the moment, unfortunately. Haven't scored in the last 2 league matches. Zavchikrai, oh, great strike. If he'd have slipped that through, though. Uh-oh, Kilenovic. They've got nobody forward. And... oh, bloody hell! That nearly went in. We're quite simply having too many long shots in this game now. And it's not really conducive to much happening. I feel like this has got 0-0 written all over it. Zaborowski, Khmil, Konefal. Oh, get your tackle in. There we go. Keep the pressure on. Like, we've been the better side on the night, don't get me... Michalski! Oh, God. I think we just have to hope that the lads can come up with something amazing late on, because they have actually looked pretty all right since we switched to positive. Look at the possession statistic. We've absolutely dominated this match against Legia, but I want the win. That's the key thing for me. Michalski. Zaborowski. Go on, dig across out. Oh, my God, how are you having a laugh? That should have been a 1-0. Oh, my God. The fact that the first one should have been a goal, and he normally puts those away without an issue. It's the fact that the second one was somehow blocked as well. Oh, it's going to be 0-0. 26 shots. They didn't have a single shot on target, and they've got a 0-0 out of this game. I don't believe it. When it ain't going for you, it ain't going for you. That's 3 matches in a row now we've not scored in, just out of nowhere. Unbeaten in 16 matches, now we can't buy a win or even a goal to save our lives. That's classic FM, isn't it? Anyway, moving on. Coyote is the man of the match for us. I mean, it's a good point in a way, but it's not when you look at the balance of things and the context to it. We're miles off the pace from the league now. God, that's annoying. But we're still right up there after all. We're 3rd in the league now. It's not the end of the world. It's just... and we've taken some good points off the teams towards the top of the league. You know, we've beaten Lechia away. We got a draw at Lech. Obviously, these guys aren't towards the top of the league, but they are still one of the teams that should be up there. So getting points off them is a good thing. It's just frustrating when you know that you could be doing much better than you were, basically. Yeah, what we're going to probably do is come back for... because that's a huge period off there as well. You know what? Screw it. We're going to come back for Lech in the home match, because these matches here, I feel like, you know, doing these ones off camera isn't the end of the world. Pogon's quite a big one, but Wisła isn't particularly. Cracovia. I want to come back and do Lech because I do want to keep pushing through the season, so to speak. And I think this is a good way of doing it, even with that large winter break in there too. And it's still only be February when we come back. So that's what we're going to be doing in the next episode. So if you've enjoyed this episode, despite the fact that I don't know. I really don't know what's changed. But we will figure it out and we will get back to winning ways, hopefully. Then drop a like on the video anyway. That'd be awesome. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. That'd be fantastic as well. And I'll join you guys in the next episode where hopefully we can get a few more league wins under our belt and start getting some form back. As is always the way. We start off like a bow of hell and then the form just drifts off and it comes back and then it drifts again. It's a strange one, I've got to say. I'll see you guys soon. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.